It's 0630 hours, and for the men of B Squadron in the First Armoured Regiment, after a week of living in their tanks, today is the biggest day of the training year. The Barracuda 3 is one tank out of 14 taking part, and Tank Commander Lieutenant Ollie Couve is about to have another day in his dream job.
Yeah, I've loved tanks since I was a kid. I used to play with guns and soldiers and that when I was a kid.
And is it a big difference between stepping up from the toy tanks to the real things?
Oh yeah. It's they're big, loud, noisy and dusty, but yeah, I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
The tanks advance to offset an imaginary enemy, and suddenly we're all indulging our fantasies.
We're here following the B Squadron of the First Armoured Regiment, and it's a training exercise about 160 kilometres out of Darwin.
It was a great way to work into the job, us blowing off plenty of rounds, nobody firing back, and resistance from the radio-controlled pop-up cardboard tank enemy minimal. Then it was time to meet the crew.
Leopard Tank has 4 crew members. We've got the driver, Steve O'Connell. Steve at 17 is the junior guy in the squadron. On the back there, Sam Howie, he's the gunner. He's in the turret and he employs the firepower of the tank. On my left, I have Trooper Damien Clayton. He helps me out, answers the radios, that sort of stuff. And then obviously I sit on the right of him as the commander of the tank and also the commander of the other 3 tanks. Barracuda 3 is our tank. B is for B Squadron, so every tank in B Squadron has to have a B name. Bimbar, Barracuda 3, Buffhead, Bullwinkle, Barbarian, Black Widow, Buck Naked, Bloody Tilly. Okay, this is a Leopard 1, an AS1. It's an Australian variant of a German designed tank. In the back here, we have a V10 twin supercharged, 830 horsepower, 36 litre diesel bad boy. It's multiple fuel, it's an excellent motor. I mean, it's been going for 30 years and it's still going. In here we have a tank telephone, which I'll open up and show you inside. In there, it's so when the infantry want to talk to us, they just press this button and they can talk to me, and it basically makes this thing a mobile bunker. So if they see the enemy, they just talk to me on there. We'll traverse the turret and blow up whatever they want us to. We've got armour-piercing discarded sabot, a high-explosive squash head, and there's other natures of ammunition around, such as canister and splintex. On board we have 2 MG3 machine guns. They can fire approximately 1,100 to 1,300 rounds per minute, and we carry 4,400 rounds on board, so we can put a lot of firepower down with that. We train all day long and hard for fighting. We're a conventional war fighting force and we're the only ones in Australia.
The call went out for the Barracuda 3 to re-enter the fray.
The biggest thrill about tanks is probably just their sheer weight, aggression, firepower, all that sort of stuff. I think most blokes that come to tanks look forward to A, driving around something that's 42 tonnes and then B, being able to shoot it. There's pretty much nothing in Australia that can beat us. We can drive over cars and all that sort of stuff.
You smash through a fair bit of material on these tanks. Does the environmental consequences worry you?
Yeah, of course it does. The Australian environment is a fragile and pristine area, and when you do go carving through the trees you think about it. So yeah, it does bear in your mind, but at the same token it's good fun to drive over a big tree and watch it fall over.
With the Hessian looking a little worse for wear and me struggling somewhat with the demands of battle, the squadron pushed through to force an enemy retreat. Suddenly, with the exercise nearly over, tank trouble struck the crew of the Barracuda 3.
Alright, so pivot in soft ground. Anytime you pivot in soft ground, you've got the chance of throwing a track, and basically I did a pivot on ground which was softer than I thought.
Disappointed? Your fault?
Yeah, it's my fault and I'm disappointed.
Can't you blame the others in some way?
I always blame your driver, always. I've already told him it's his fault.
What are they actually doing here?
Alright, what we've had to do is, to get the track back on, we've had to break the track, roll it off, realign the track, which is what we did when we towed it, and then realign the vehicle back to the track and tow the vehicle back onto it. So it's a bit of a lengthy process.
Do the maintenance guys complain when you get back?
Yeah, our maintenance guys do especially.
So why do they get stuck in here?
Oh, just because we break everything, pretty much. You know, they fix it for us and spend all night fixing it, and then we'll break it 10 minutes later, and we tend to do that on a regular basis. So.
An hour later, the repairs were finished and the Barracuda 3 up and running. Were you disappointed that you didn't get to go to Timor?
Well, you can't wish for war. You know, that's a hard thing to say. I mean, a peacekeeping operation in tanks is more than feasible in our region. You never know what's around the corner.